Greetings everyone and welcome to another draft of Crimson Vow. It is a premier draft at this time and there's not many days before I get to draft the double feature event, which will be interesting after so many Crimson Vow drafts, but still a few days of just these plain Crimson Vow drafts. Now this pack is rather strong, as you can see. The rare is basically limited, unplayable, but there are two amazing removal spells, the Hero's Downfall and the Upgrade, and also two very nice uncommons in Voltaic, Visionary and the Brambleworm, in addition to their Downfall. The other commons are of course not on par with the Upgrade, but they are basically two completely first pickable cards, and I wouldn't mind first picking the Voltaic Visionary, and maybe first picking the Brambleworm might be interesting too, because it's easier to make sure you get to 7 mana if you can prepare for it. Now out of these options, Upgrade is a splashable removal spell, Hero's Downfall is not, but this is still slightly better because it just kills anything, so it is the better pick here. And look at this nice pass to me in Parasitic Grasp. Someone took a rare here. I get another high quality uncommon removal spell, even from the same color as my first pick, so that's a really easy pick. Out of this pack there's nothing that compares to it. There's some decent white in Drugskol Infantry, good red aggressive 2-drop there. I like the Flourishing Hunter too, but they are really nowhere near the Parasitic Grasp here in quality. Wow, these packs are strong. This pack has also multiple options. You could just take the Upgrade for removal, and you can also take a Mark of Purifier. It is double colors of course, but I'm at least hoping to be black already with these two first picks. And so Upgrade would be better than the Celebrants, while Celebrants is still a very nice card I wouldn't mind having here from this pack. And Hookan Mariner is a good green 4-drop. The Inspired Idea also is definitely nice, but its value is slightly less or worse because there is a very nice common draw spell to the 4 mana thing that looks at the top 4 cards, and you can keep 2 of them. But anyway, it is between the Mark of Purifier and the Upgrade. I could take the third removal spell in a row, but I have already passed a bunch of red. Well, I guess one Upgrade and then... Yeah, but I think I'll take the Purifier because it has some... There's some reasoning that I have already 2 good removal spells. The Upgrade, while it's not definitely redundant, you can play like 7, 8, 9 removal spells in your deck. There's nothing wrong with that. But also this Mark of Purifier can just be an incredibly strong card, and it can generate you a lot more value than one Upgrade ever will. So now that I have already some removal, it makes more sense to pick the kind of card that covers some other bases for the deck, not just another removal spell. Alright, so here Child of the Pack and Lantern Bearer are incredibly strong cards. Well, maybe not incredibly, but very good picks. But since I took the Purifier, I think I think I wouldn't take the Child of the Pack because it doesn't work with the black. I could take a Lantern Bearer, but Heron of Hope is now the pick because of the Mark of Purifier. That's the only reason, because it does match the pick here a lot, very well. But now I'm very sad because if I just took the Lantern Bearer and I got now another one of those, I'd be super happy about it. And now it's gonna be more difficult. I mean, should I take a Lantern Bearer now that I just passed one? It seems really awkward to do that. I could take the Blood Fountain. It's okay. I don't like the Heron Blessed Geist. There's not really any black enchantment. Maybe like a very low amount of them, but not really a lot. I would be relying on white to get the activated ability working. I think I'll just stick to my colors now. This is a bit of forcing. You could take the Lantern Bearer if blue is that open, but the Purifier is such a strong card that I feel like it's worth continuing this route. And yeah, I do realize black has been a bit cut here. There hasn't been any great black being passed to me after my first couple of picks, and the Mark of Purifier, which is also a white card. But I think it's worth sticking to black given the high quality uncommons in here. Now, am I taking like a Piercing Light, Vampire Slayer, Militia Rallier, Mind Leech Goal? Well, I'll take the Vampire Slayer over a Mind Leech Goal, but I think I can just take a one Piercing Light. I don't like it too much here, but these are random creatures, I don't need that much. I think I'll just take the additional removal spell there. Okay, I think the Wedding Invitation is kinda okay because it can synergize with the Purifier, although the Recluse, but the Recluse is not that easy to transform when you are white-black. White doesn't really contribute to making me able to discard. But I'm not that big fan of the Wedding Invitation either. This is actually a tough one. It is one of these cards. Maybe I can find enough blood tokens to make this good. Okay, fine, I'll take that. Alright, Courier Bat, that is the easy pick here, because if this is good in some color combination, it is the white-black where you can actually maybe gain some life gain effects a bit more reliably than usually. Okay, 3 Wedding Invitations here. Vampire's Kiss, Sealed Password. Actually, the Wedding Invitation only gives you lifelink when it has a target for a vampire target, and I don't currently have more than one vampire. It already has vampire, sorry, a lifelink, so maybe it's not that. I think I'm actually willing to try the Vampire's Kiss. I mean, this is not that likely to be played in the deck in the end. Okay, I'll take the pointed discussion. It creates me a blood token for the 2-drop, but I will explain shortly. I'll just take something here. Let's keep picking the uncolored cards here. Okay, Adamant Will, nothing wrong with that. I didn't get a lot of white after the Purifier and Heron of Hope, as you can see, but it is what it is. So my point is that this actually can synergize well enough in this deck. It's usually a grade D card, not really a card you really want to have in your deck, but it synergizes with the Courier Bat and the Ragged Recluse. That's already something, and also it does synergize with the Mark of Purifier. So that's a few cards that can benefit from this, because normally if you just use a card to drain 2 life and create 2 blood tokens, that's not enough by itself. Alright, so now if I took the upgrade in the previous pack, I would have a nice follow-up with that, but I think I'll just go for the Courier Bat. Try to get the maximum value out of these things. Yeah, I'm kind of forcing white-black here at this point. It feels so weird to pick the upgrade now, having passed a couple of them already in this draft, so yeah. Let's take the Courier Bat. It's definitely a good card in this archetype. Alright, so now I just care about most life gain, because I do have some synergy for that, and I don't mind having a little bit maybe blood token generating for this thing, but obviously not gonna take a blood servitor. I think all that said, I'll just take the Desperate Farmer. Nice with Courier Bat, nice with Mark of Purifier, so let's take that. That is a lot of 3-drops. That is something white-black can often have quite a lot of, because the Courier Bats and Desperate Farmers are already good. Then the 1/4 Vampire is really decent too. The thing that creates a blood token and can gain you life when you sacrifice blood tokens. And then of course there's the white Disturb creature with 2/3 life linker. So the 3-drop slot is always quite stuffed when you play this particular color combination. It's just something that you can't really avoid. Alright, so here I could take the Evolving Wilds, Undying Malice, or for a Foreboding Statue. Griffrodder is not for this deck. I'm kind of defaulting to this Evolving Wilds now, because while the statue is good, I really don't want to take any extra 3-drops, especially because I already have most of them. Most of the cards in my deck currently are 3-drops. So I'll just take the mana fixing. I have already a double caster black spell, so I want to be able to cast it. And here we have the card I was talking about, another decent 3-drop for this archetype. It's also the only card in the pack that can be cast with either Swamps or Plains. So Rootstein being a black card is also a green, of course. So a bit concerning pack. It might not be a very open archetype to this direction. But I mean, I hope this is just an outlier. I could still move to green-white. Green-black. I could take the Rootstein. That is something I can actually consider, but I like the Mark of Purifier too much. I take the Gluttonous Quest and forget about the green. That might be a mistake. Well, not now, because there's a Heron of Hope. There's also the Socialite, but Socialite is mostly okay because it creates me the blood token for the Ragged Recluse, but I have only one Recluse. That said, I need more 2-drops. Definitely. That's a priority if I just can, get those. But I'll take the Heron of Hope now. Nice with the bats especially. And now any 2-drop will be good. Okay, I'm passing multiple of these Storm Chaser Drakes here. Well, I'll take the Courier Bat still. I hate to pick yet another 3-drop, but oh, this is bad. I'm taking the green card now if I have to actually move to green-black here. Done. Alright, so now this is something I would want to just take the Heron of Hope, but I need a 2-drop here. And it's gonna be one of these. Maybe it is gonna be the Butler. It is still better than the Mind Leech Goal. It doesn't rage that well, but it's something that you can just jump block with. Yeah, I'll take the Butler. It is just a better card out of those two, but I really wouldn't have minded having another Heron of Hope there. Alright, so here pretty much nothing. I have one persistent specimen in the sideboard. I'm not gonna play two, so I'll just take like a rescue if I don't know. That's very unlikely card to be played. I suppose it's quite okay on the Heron of Hope if the opponent doesn't have removal, because the 3/5 life, potentially life-linking flyer is of course quite nice creature, but I don't think I'm gonna risk having that. Alright, well, there is a blood token generating. I'm not taking any more 3-drops unless they are very high quality. Radiant Grace is bad. I'll take 20 gems here. I would otherwise maybe take the Aim for the Head, because it is a nice sideboard card, but this is a premier draft. No sideboarding at all. Okay, here Undying Malice versus the Gargantua. I don't think I want to have a 5-drop. I need more 2-drops, and Undying Malice is actually quite good, especially with things like Courier Bat. Yeah, that is clearly the better pick here for this deck, I think. Yeah, the amount of white cards, as you can see, not a lot. The presence doesn't work in this deck. I have way too few early drops, but I guess I can play the Beckweiler here. Alright, so there's a Dorothea, there's a Traveling Minister, there's a Markov Purifier, and there's the Kindly Ancestor. Now, the Purifier is normally better than the Traveling Minister in the white-black deck. Quite easily, actually. But for this particular deck, I need early game, and this is so good with Courier Bats, Lifegain on demand. I'm taking this easily now, and I don't even actually care if I don't get either of these 3-drops back, because I literally don't want my curve to look like, I mean, I don't want to have a crazy spike in the 3-drop slot. It's really not gonna make you, it's gonna be making a hard time to curve out. So I hope to just get mostly 2-drops from now on. There is a Fleeting Spirit, and there are these stuff, but this is really, now it's pack 3, this is the I mean, now I really need to make the 2-drop count up here, so it's just a forced pick of Fleeting Spirit. If I had other 2-drops here, I would maybe consider some of these things, but for this particular deck, the 2-mana 3/1 is the absolute best pick. Okay, I actually got a high quality removal spell still. I was worried about my Hero's Downfall and Pointed Discussion were the final removal spells, my first 2 picks in the draft, but at least I got this Bleed Dry here, which I'm very happy about, of course. And here, no 2-drop. Archgoal, no. There is a Piercing Light, which, I mean, I actually do have this. This is a removal spell, although only works on small creatures. It's kind of, it does work against early creatures, and my deck has some trouble in the early game, perhaps. But I'm also thinking about the Grizzly Ritual, which might not be the worst. But I guess I'll take the cheap removal spell. It's the better, safer pick to make, I think. Alright, so I would like to have the Blood-Crazed Socialite here. It's still quite okay, but there's a Mind Leech Goal, and I might just need a 2-drop. It really doesn't have a lot of exploit value. It's just a 2-mana 2/2 most of the time. Yeah, I really don't like that. Darn. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's like a very low amount of 2-drops here. But it doesn't really do anything in this deck other than be a 2-drop. I'll take the Socialite. I think it's just a better card for this deck. And now I don't mind having the Vampire Slayer here. It at least has some extra utility. Now, mostly this is quite close to the Mind Leech Goal, but this does have some utility against vampires. Alright, so now I can take the Grizzly Ritual. I don't get to play the Wedding Invitation in this deck. It's not really that good here. I'll take the one Grizzly Ritual. I can play a 6-mana card. Okay, Diagram Scavenger. That is another fine 4-drop. I don't have maybe too many of them. That is now, is that 4? Well, whatever. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's 5. No, there's a 4 plus the Bleed Dry. 4 creatures, it's fine. Alright, I don't think I'm playing 2 Grizzly Rituals. I don't think I'm gonna play the Ceremonial Knife either, or any of these. Actually, I'm pretty sure I'll just don't play anything from this pack, so I'll take the uncommon unless, I suppose, it auto-picked something else for me. I don't care, that didn't really matter at all. Alright, so Servitor won't be making the deck. I'll pick the Invitation, which I also won't be playing. Blood Fountain number 2. I don't need, I have already 3 Courier Bats now. I guess it makes me a blood token for the one Ragged Recluse, but that might be a high priority if I had more than one of these Recluses, but I don't, so that's that. Okay, definitely wasn't really the open archetypes. I don't know why I took the Vampire's Kiss. There was an uncommon in the pack. I could have maximized the vault value, but it doesn't actually matter. I mean, 1 point versus 3 points out of 1000 isn't really such a big deal. Undying Malice is actually supposed to be in the deck. I don't know why it wasn't there. Okay, so I did force the white-black maybe too much. It was just too sweet to have the high-quality black spells as the first 2 picks, the Hero's Downfall and the Parasitic Grasp. Both are even basically double casters, while they sometimes can be a single caster, but you have to cleave it against some decks anyway. Such a high quality picks, and then I did get black here too in the end, but then I had the Mark of Purifier over the upper 8, and then the Heron of Hope that immediately followed after that. I was hoping the archetype could be more open, but of course, as you can see, that's not the case. So in the end, my deck currently has 10 white cards, 19 black, but I think some of the white might be cut. Well, maybe not a lot of them. I think it might just be the Adamant Will. Alright, so let's see the cards now. Cut the lands for now. How many cards create me a blood token? 1. Well, 2, 3. I'm not gonna play both of those. 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, well, I can't cut the Recluse because even though it's not that likely to make it transform, I need the 2 drops here. The few that I have, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I at least have the Piercing Lights for early game too. Anyway, 1 Vampire's Kiss is gonna easily be cut, and maybe the Adamant Will doesn't really. It's not really that necessary in the deck. I have quite a few flyers to push through. Adamant Will is not. I don't need a pump effect here. And then this is going to be a 17 land deck, so I need to find some other cuts. Is there any 3-drop I'm willing to lose? Well, I mean, all the 3-drops are just good. I even like the card draw spell because I have a life gain in the deck, so losing 2 life isn't that bad, and I do care about the blood token. Socialite also, I guess, could be cut. The Tapper. No, I think I can have the 5 and 1 6 mana card in the deck. I really like the Undying Malice. This is actually tough. The Vampire's Kiss has to go. It is kinda okay with triple Courier Bat because at 5 mana you can play a Kiss and then the Courier Bat. But do I have other ways to? Well, I don't have. Well, I have some ways to gain life. Diecraft Scavenger, of course, is a 4 mana way to gain life, so it only works with Courier Bat if you have 7 mana available. Yeah, there's actually. If I had more Traveling Ministers, I think I will actually cut one of the Courier Bats because I don't in the end have that much life gain. There's like 1, 2. Well, if this has transformed, like let's say 2.5 because it's not that easy. 3.5, 4.5, 5.5, 7.5. I'm not even going to count the Scavenger here. So that's like around 7, 8 cards that can gain me life. Yeah, I don't want to go too deep with the Courier Bats. 2 of them shall be enough, mostly also because I don't mind cutting a 3-drop in this deck. Now the final card is, what's that going to be then? I do like the Blood Fountain still. This is kind of a defensive deck too. I guess it could be one of the Piercing Lights. I don't. Yeah, the Undying Malice is also. I mean, it is good with a bunch of these things. I really like it though, especially with something like a Desperate Farmer. It doesn't work with Undead Butler because you have to exile it in order to use the ability. So this returning means you won't be exiling it, and in that case you don't get to use the ability to return something. But it is good with the Courier Bat still. Yeah, I'm going to play the Undying Malice. So now the final card is just going to be something like the Socialite could be one, but I want to have the blood token maybe. Is that worth it though? I think it is worth it. Yeah, I'll cut the piercing light. This is the deck definitely can lag in the early game, but maybe I have just about enough things to do early in the game. The grasp isn't always going to be a 2-mana spell. So what I can do, I can play one of these 2-drops, but the butler is not going to be good at trading with anything. I can play the minister on turn 1, I can play a piercing light. Yeah, this is really low on early game. I kind of want to have the piercing light actually here, but don't really know. It would be the social light, that would be the card after that. So how much do I want to have access to the blood token? I guess I just have to accept the fact that this won't be transforming that often. The social light maybe is the card, and I will play the piercing light just to have this somewhat amount of early game available at least. Plus the piercing light isn't that bad later in the game. There will be 2 toughness creatures, and if nothing else you can just finish off a big creature, something that has 4 toughness, you block it with 2 power creature and then you finish it off. It is a 2-for-1, but sometimes that's what you have to do. Alright, so I will cut the social light in the end. This is better for the mana curve. So this is the deck. Yep, it has to be it. Evolving Wilds, and I think I could play 8-8 and I can play 9-7 basic lands. I do have a lot more black and I have 2 black double casters. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. 9-8, sorry, 9-7 basic lands. So 7 of these. That's still 8 ways to get access to the white mana producers, and then with these make sure that it's easy time to get access to black, which I will be needing always with these 10 ways to get black. Alright, so that's the deck. Definitely not as good as it could have been based on the first first 4 picks in the draft were literally, they were Hero's Downfall, Parasitic Grasp, Mark of Purifier, and Heron of Hope. That's a great start for a black-white deck, but then it went downhill after that. But I could have moved to both red and green instead of white. I chose not to, and now I'm not sure if the deck would have been better, but let's see how far this thing goes. Huh. 9 ways to get black mana, plus the Evolving Wilds, so actually 10. 9 swamps, 1 Evolving Wilds. This thing can scry. If I get 1 black, I have already the blood token for the Ragged Recluse. I have this when I get my second black. I think with 10 cards, 10 out of 33 is almost like a third chance to find one. I don't expect to be drawing it like very soon, but I hope that the piercing light will at least help me get there. Actually, that's quite fine. That's quite fine because opponent just if they just choose to attack, which usually you do with Minister, I really hope they do, because that would be perfect. And hope, let's see if they have an adamant will or something like a. Okay, that's not needed. I got to kill this and I got to scry a non-swamp card away. That's fine, but I do need some. Yeah, okay, that was unlucky. At that point, my deck had 6 planes and 11 cards that don't produce white. Allow me to get access to black. Yeah, that was really. There's only 5 planes left in the deck. Still 11. Okay, that's good now. This will be killed by the Parasitic Grasp, I think. Well, I need 2 black for that. So hopefully I get there in time. I suppose at some point I will be able to kill it with the Hero's Downfall. Here it's easy Recluse, of course, because next turn I will play Blood Fountain and quite likely will be just transforming this thing by sacrificing the token by discarding something, although I'm not sure. I don't want to discard anything in my hand though, so might not be that easy. Oh, wedding announcement. Oh, jeez. Hard mode engaged, but this is Crimson Vow, so not exactly surprising to face that kind of stuff. Alright, so I mean, I'll just have to do this, and I get rid of the Grizzly Ritual. Hope to draw into more swamps, and I don't know how to beat the wedding invitation. Oh, this was one of the five. Jeez. One of the 5 remaining planes. Now I have 4 planes in the deck, and I still have 8 swamps and the evolving buds. Well, I mean, I still have a functional hand here. Oh, there's also a giraffe. It is a human, but this is 3 damage only. So, well, this is gonna get very awkward very soon. This is gonna be a 5/5 next turn. They have an adamant wheel, that's the only explanation. I think I'm gonna be willing to trade to an adamant wheel here. Oh, it's also possible they just wanna draw a card. Yeah, okay, definitely the block makes a bit more sense now. It's because even they attack with 2 creatures, this will be drawing a card. Could have also been a piercing light, by the way, but it wasn't either of them. Alright, so Traveling Minister allows at least me to do stuff with the Courier Bat. Well, if I'm lucky, they block with the Giraffe here. And then I get to finish it off with the Parasitic Grasp. I will gain the life anyway. Unless they have a chill of the... Okay, they didn't have. But the Anthem will be incredibly frustrating to deal with. Okay, so there's nothing in my graveyard, so I don't plan to play the Courier Bat. I guess I could, though. But, because I have the Blood Fountain here, but it doesn't even do much against the 1/3 that flies. Well, okay, fine, let's do it anyway, because it does, I can pump it into a 3 power creature. Okay, they have that. Oh, fine. Trading into a counterspell there is actually okay. But now problem is that I have 2 double... imagine if one of these 4 planes was a swamp, I could have just gotten rid of the statue before it becomes a 5/5, which it's gonna do this turn. And I could have killed this thing. Now I can't get rid of them both because the Parasitic Grasp doesn't actually answer either of them anymore. So... this might just be lost because of the... And I have more swamps than I have planes in the deck, so it's kind of awkward. I can't even play my mana base stuff here. Okay, well, with the wedding announcement and all that. What do you think is the chance to win here? I mean, I can play a couple of turns here. This is the kind of situation where I'm just willing to concede the game because there's nothing to be gained here. I mean, there's nothing I can do against the 6/6, the flying army. They can even start sacrificing. They can maybe... doesn't even matter actually. I guess I can check out one turn if I get a swamp on the next turn, but this is... I can just guarantee you guys that I have lost this game already. It doesn't matter even if I draw if I get to Demonic Tutor each turn instead of drawing a card. That is... I won't be beating the opponent when they have the multiple things going on here. So here is a 5/5 for instance. And now it has lifelink, and I can't do anything with my Parasitic Grasp. The only thing it kills is this human token, which is not really relevant at all here. So I'll take 7 now in the air. And I have an awkward block on the 6/6. They don't even offer that block. I don't even understand why wouldn't they attack with the 6/6, but I guess they don't have to. They're winning anyway. But they should have just used up my removal or something. More stuff. So this is gonna be the final draw step now. Maybe there's something I don't remember my deck has that can actually help me survive, but I don't think that's gonna be the case. I mean, I'm also facing... Okay, so that's the swamp now. So I could kill a giraffe, and it doesn't even help me too much. This won't be flying at that point, but it's not like I can block a 5/5 or a 6/6. I can trade with the assistant here. None of these are vampires. Slayer doesn't do anything. It's just not possible to win here. The kind of awkward thing in that match was that if I did have my double black available and I could have killed the foreboding statue and the Geralf with my double black casters, I think there was a good chance I could have still had an even game against the wedding announcement. Alright, so here I have good stuff. I'm definitely keeping this hand. Opponent is choosing the mulligan. And they kept 7, I'll keep this. And I can just actually curve out normally here. And I might just take the... Okay, they have separate strong, I don't like to see that. I'll still play the recluse, I wanna see if I draw some kind of a blood token here. They are just leaving this as a blocker, so I could use a piercing light, but it's super awkward here. Because of course them getting more of those strongs here. I'm not even sure if I want to... Yeah, I will use the butler here, mostly because while I don't currently have a life gain, but this will mill some cards. I can mill a creature card which I might be able to pick up with the bat, and plus they can have a counter spell, so I'm not sure. I think I'm gonna leave up the Undying Malice instead of the piercing light here. So let's see what they do now. This being a 3-3 would be much better against the Throng, but... Okay, so they have something, but that can be many things. Many things can be instant here. Let's see what they choose to do. Counter that, sure. So... Yeah, I could attack, have the Undying Malice, have this return as a 3-2. Then they get another Throng, play a 2-1, against which the 3-2 will be bad anyway. And now I can wait until I get some kind of life gain to get my butler back with the courier bat, because they didn't have a syncopate. Syncopate would have exiled. That counterspell did not. Blood Fountain, okay, so... Am I able to do anything? I kind of have to still play the courier bat, that's the annoying part. Yeah, I mean... I hate to do it, but there's nothing I can else do here. Opponent just draws cards, and they have too much value going on. I need to start to raise them somehow. Yeah, this really... I mean, the red strong when I didn't have one of the blood tokens for this. This shows how the Ragged Recluse is really unimpressive if you don't have a good frequency for actually transforming it. It's amazing when you have, but that's why I like this card a lot in black-red, and in most other black decks it's not really that good. But yeah, I just lost my bat trigger because I don't have ways to gain life other than this when it's transformed, but for that I would have needed, of course, blood tokens. Or other way to discard a card, but what else there is? I'm not going to discard the hand size either, so... Opponent is still at 5 cards because they had ample time to play the Thirst for Discovery, because I'm not able to punish them in any way. Okay, well, they can do that. I lost my ways to interact with my graveyard, so that doesn't really matter too much there. So am I going to start to raise it? I don't really like to when they have this thing going on. I guess now that I have the 5-drop, I just should attack with the flyer, have the tapper around. So if I kill the scavenger, they will get it back. I don't want to kill it. Now I have actually a blocker on the Throng here, or do they kill it? This could be an 0-3 draft. The deck I have is not really that impressive. But of course the first match was just well, me not drawing the double black when I really needed to do that. And this match opponent seems to just match my plays very well here, but let's see if they actually... Okay, well, that is okay. Yeah, so great to not have the blood token. This actually could do a lot of stuff here in my deck, but nope, no blood token. So what I do here is I don't need to have the piercing light. Although if I do tap the scavenger, but then again, yeah, I have the Undying Malice up. What I think I'm doing here, I will tap down the scavenger. If they do attack with the Throng here, and that I will just take that damage through, and then I might be able to counter attack. Okay, they actually had a Throng in their hand, so That's one fewer throngs they can fetch with this thing. So they can attack for 3 if they want to. Then I have my counter attack, which I can maybe attack with the Vampire Slayer and the Recluse. And if they attack just for 1, it's fine. Okay, they don't attack even with the barrier here. They have another of those. Well, are they gonna exile their own throng? I guess they are. Don't like the massive amount of Death Touchers there though. Especially when they have the Blood Fountain, which can help them get that stuff back. Okay, Traveling Minister is at least helping in the race situation. Okay, I can still... So the idea they have here is definitely use the Lantern Bearer as a creature enhancement, but I don't care. I have removal for that and the Tapper also. So I can continue these attacks here, of course. They didn't attack with the Lantern Bearer, so... What's going on? Why did it attack? Wasn't the Courier Bat tapped? I thought it was. They just missed 1 damage, I guess. Alright, so I might have to actually use the Diagraph kill spell on the Diagraph Scavenger, but maybe first I'll just maybe see how many they are gonna attack with. Just 3 damage. Alright, so it being a Death Toucher means if I double block I lose both of my guys. Not good. I guess with the Traveling Minister I can take this. I don't want to use the Hero's Downfall yet. They might have something even worse there. But it is really awkward that my 2-drops do nothing against the Throng. If I was sure they don't have any more Throngs in the deck, of course I would do the trade in that case. But if they do, it's just a waste of one of my 2-drops here, in that case. Okay, so the opponent is thinking now... they are thinking about something in this before dealing damage. Well, why would they do anything? Maybe they just disconnect it. I'll pause. Okay, it took a long time, but they choose to just pass there, and I'm not using the Hero's Downfall. I want to see what they're gonna play here post-combat, and if nothing, then I might use the Downfall. Yeah, this is exactly the kind of stuff I needed to save the Downfall for. Now, sadly, they will get it back, but now before they... I don't want to give the trigger to them, so I will kill this in response to the exploit trigger, so they can sacrifice a creature, but it doesn't do anything anymore. Then put the creature on the graveyard. So do they want to do that? I don't think there's any reason for them to do that, so... This is now my window to actually attack for a bit of damage here. Let's see. How should I do it? Are they really thinking about sacrificing? Alright, so... where is my Mark of Purifier? I have a couple of Heron of Hopes. Even... I don't know, actually. Really feels like I've drawn some decent stuff, but I need something better from the deck. Okay, so if I attack... I mean, I could even tap the Throng here and attack for 2, 6, actually 7 damage. And then I'm facing, of course, a lot of damage myself, but that's gonna be 7 back, and I'm at 10 life at that point. I just don't really like them to get... I don't know. I can't just attack without using the chopper here. Use the Undying Malice. Be done with it. I'm gonna anyway pump the Courier Bat. That's the obvious thing to do here. I mean, these are not going to block the Scavengers. I guess I just have to keep them there. Maybe they don't have a 3rd Throng. I don't know, but this is really awkward actually. Now, am I going to attack with the 2 Power Guy too? Because I might actually be more interested in attacking with it. Yeah, I am. I will attack for the maximum damage, and I think I will use the Piercing Light there. Just to scry, maybe. The Piercing Light can be... Yeah, I mean, let's scry here, whatever. Fleeting Spirit. Well, that can block a Scavenger. Huh. Okay, then. It is not a blood token, it's not much. But it can block a scavenger, but the scavengers keep coming back. That is not nice. They can return the diver's cup. Yeah, I think I'm gonna actually just draw. I need a Mark of Purifier or something better, like a Heron of Hope. Heron of Hope would be good. Let's see if they have a third of those. Okay, they had only two, or maybe they have a third one in their hand, but this is good now that it traded without them getting additional value there. So now I'm facing 5 damage here. I might draw a Blood Token, so that's why I'm not playing the land. I can also draw my 1/6 mana spell, destroy target creature. Or was it in? No, it is not here. So I mean, there are more outs to Blood Tokens than the 1/6 mana spell, so there's a reason to leave this in my hand. Alright, so they have this. They did exile 2 creatures there, so to draw a card, which makes the Blood Fountain a little bit worse. But they have this defensive, but they don't want to attack with everything because I can tap this Skywap Scarp and I have some decent stuff going on. Okay, another Piercing Light. So how do I do it now? Don't think there's much to do now because they have the 2/5 annoying thing that can block my Courier Bat. I think I have to leave the tapper up now for their turn. I could tap it down and attack for 3, but they might even just jump block with the Lantern Bearer. Yeah, I mean, I just gained my life here, and the Death Touchers are now nasty because I don't have 3 power creatures here. I mean, I could have drawn, but it just feels like I don't want to draw a card that just trades with the Scavenger. I need some of the powerful stuff in the deck, like a Mark of Purifier with the Traveling Minister around. That would be really good. Or just another Courier Bat. Or just one of the 2 Heron of Hopes. So I'm going to tap something down. I think it has to be a Death Toucher, because I don't mind if they attack with a flyer here. Yeah, but these Death Touchers I'm gonna probably attack anyway. So let's take the damage from these guys. 2, I have to take it. I really don't want to double block it, especially because they have the Blood Fountain to get value from it. But sadly they also have 4 cards in their hand, so I guess I don't have to double block because I have this Piercing Light, but I take the 2 here. I'm anyway gaining 1 life per turn. If I happen to draw my Heron of Hope, I will be gaining more life per turn in that case. So let's see what they have. 3 cards still left in hand. Repository's Cup, returning the card draw spell most likely when they can sacrifice the Lantern Bearer. Not good. Well, they actually chose to get that. Maybe. No, they can get it back with the Blood Fountain. But yeah, they have the card draw spell now. Yeah, the Skywap Scarp is actually problematic here now. A good blocker on my... Okay, let's thin the deck with this thing. Alright, so this is really... I mean, I guess the deck just isn't very good, but what can I even do here? When they have the Scarp around here, they will just draw more cards. This is horrible. I guess I'm going to just kill the Skywap Scarp. That's what I have to do here. With the Piercing Light, I guess. The Courier Bat isn't doing anything otherwise. So I go to stop off the damage here, deal 3 to that thing, and if they have a way to save it, of course, I guess I could have Undying Malice that guy. Well, too late now, but that was certainly something I should have considered. Especially with them, yeah, I think I didn't utilize really my... do they have a Cradle of Safety there? Okay then. I mean, I guess I could have traded with the Scavenger, used the Undying Malice somehow on the... Yeah, on the bat, when it returns it can... Yeah, I guess I messed up. But then again, opponent having that Undying Malice there is gonna mean that I wasn't gonna have a good chance here no matter what. And look at this, I'm actually drawn 50% of the deck almost. I have no Blood Token for this still. Alright, so here I'm actually facing a lot of damage in the air. I have to use my Undying Malice now. It is super awkward though. I lost my flyer. I mean, I know this game is again lost. Maybe if I do find a Mark of Purifier or a Heron of Hope, like immediately, But I just tapped the... I don't know why did I even tap the 3-3. Maybe it's... is the opponent really playing that safe? I guess with the card draw available, they don't need to take any kind of risks here. Because they will win the late game here. Now there is a courier bat that gets me a courier back bat. Back. Oh, very hard to speak here. So am I supposed to... I can't attack into this cup. The reason I did tap down the repository's cup is that I actually wanted the Skywap's cup to attack so that I could have a 3-power creature here. Jeez. So the only good attack is achieved by me tapping down the Skywap's cup. But then I'm facing... I mean, that's the only reasonable thing I have going on here. I hope the opponent's instant speed interaction doesn't involve any other tricks there. But I do need to now. I'm gonna attack for 3 and I kinda hope they do block with the Diagram Scavenger here now. They do get it back, so why wouldn't they? They get actually 2 Scavengers back. That is insane. But I get 2 creatures back. The Courier Bat gets the other Courier Bat, and then the other Courier Bat gets me the Vampire Slayer back. But if they have now a counter spell still in their hand, well, that's it. That's the game over then. Yeah, I know I could have played the third planes there, but I felt that if I have to pay for this thing, I'm gonna miss out on the value of the other Courier Bat anyway. So yeah, this is just game over now. They had too much going on, and given they had more card draw power, they had the Blood Fountain for both of the Diagram Scavengers. That was just I mean, this deck did seem like it has a good chance of doing very badly in this draft after the draft. So after the first very nice four picks in the draft, everything went downhill, including both of the first 2 games. I guess the only kind of bright point in the draft was the Bleed Dry that I got later in the draft, but otherwise it was just miserable. It's actually weird thinking about the past few drafts I have had. I have had some amazing decks and some amazingly bad decks too. And in the drafts have either gone extremely well or just I couldn't have found the open lane. Not sure if it's something with my drafting or is it just random variance. Here I will keep these because I at least, if nothing else, I have the Blood Fountain into the Recluse, and this Blood Token, of course, in addition to transforming this, will also help me find my land drops here. Maybe even a plains. Maybe this is the game where I don't draw the plains at all. But I have only 1 white card, and the Swamp is good. Now I'm 1 step closer to the Diagram Scavenger. I'm actually easily just discarding the... Well, I'm actually not doing that now. Wait a minute, what I'm supposed to do here now? Vampire Slayer is... I mean, they could have still... Well, let's first attack, because if they have a Piercing Light on this, there's no point using the Blood Token at all this turn. Or a Fierce Retribution. I do get this guy back with Blood Fountain though. But if this dies now, yeah, I'm definitely not using the Blood Token, why would I? And now I can get that thing back at a later point. Now the Diagram Scavenger is not going to exile my own Recluse because of the Blood Fountain. I might play this even if I don't get to exile anything. They have their own Blood Fountain. I really wish I could have... I mean, I wish they had some creature I could exile, but it doesn't matter. I'm gonna play the Scavenger and just exile the Fierce Retribution, even if it doesn't really achieve anything. Normally I would of course exile my own creatures to get the drain effect, but here I have a reason to have that in my graveyard. Hopefully the opponent doesn't have a Scavenger, because that would punish... Oh man, jeez, what the... yeah, so they get the drain and they get the... whatever. It just seems like this is not my event. This is not my event. They had the Scavenger there, of course they did. Well, problem with... I don't know, let's do this anyway. They didn't even get to discard another creature there. So they can return now. It costs 4 mana to return this. They don't get to return it in time to my scavenger, of course. But that really hurt because, well, maybe it didn't matter that much in the end, because if I exiled my own creature, I would be at 20, they would be at, what, 18, so maybe it doesn't matter that much. Anyway, land wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind a land. Well, let's play the Minister then. There's a chance I'm just going to use the Blood Fountain on that one card. But let's first see what the opponent does. I haven't drawn my Heron of Hopes at all. They would have been really good. Okay, they just gained 3 life here. That leaves them only 2 mana left. Maybe they have a land drop for 3rd. Well, that's just perfect. I guess that means I'm going to... I'm just gonna return the 1 scavenger here. Darn, it was annoying to lose the... Okay, well, there is the Heron of Hope. So... attack with this guy. And the reason I didn't play this pre-combat is that I might wanna use the scavenger here anyway. And I do. So, because of course with the Heron I would have gained additional life point there, but I don't think 1 life is gonna matter here too much. It's a black-white mirror, both are gaining life here. I don't want the Butler to die before I have something in my graveyard, but I guess the opponent isn't gonna just randomly use a removal spell on a 1/2 creature either. They would use it on the Minister if they have a small creature removal such as a Gift of Fangs available. Okay, so Heron of Hope. Well, at least now that the Diagram Scavenger is exiled, I can kill this with the Grisly Ritual, and then of course they can only get that 1 card back. But let's see, it's not like the opponent is low on creatures here at all. No, they are not. So there is the Grisly Ritual. Alright, so what to do? If I attack with the Scavenger, they have to double block it in order to kill it. So that kind of seems like what I should be doing. Oh, cancel this time. I'm going to play the Heron of Hope. To gain the extra life here. And I play the land because I want to have the 6th land anyway, plus now I have the activation for the lifelink up here. But how do I beat the opponent's hand here, which can still involve a lot of decent stuff, and I have... most of my cards are now on the battlefield. Can I draw my Mark of Purifier? Okay. Well, I have also a Hero's Downfall in my deck, I also have the Exiling removal spell, and I have the Drain 3, and I have the Mark of Purifier. So that is a lot of good stuff. Now, double blocking with the Undead Butler and the Vampire Slayer is going to mean that it only trades with the Vampire Slayer. I think it's still worth it, killing the Kindly Ancestor here. Trading with it is fine, even though they get the thing back to the graveyard. And then, of course, now that I have the Heron of Hope in my graveyard, when the Butler dies, I will get it back to my hand, but it's not gonna die now. The amount of life gain in this event will be quite large here. I do kind of want them to use the... well, let's see. I don't want to use the Grisly Ritual before they've used the Blood Fountain, but I don't think it's gonna be that easy. for that to happen. So now they didn't use... Okay, so they have mana up, so they have something super annoying. They didn't get the life here. Alright, so what to do? If I kill the Heron, they will eventually get it back. But in the meanwhile, at least I can deal some number of damage. They could have an Undying Malice, of course. I could just discard these planes to draw one extra card, but the Crystal Ritual will also give me 2 other blood tokens. I kind of want to get the redraws. Fine, I will attack first. Let's see if they have like a Fierce Retribution or what they have there. It's not a great situation to be in. It's really annoying actually, because opponent has more resources than I, and they are holding something. It could be an Undying Malice. Although if it for no, I don't think it's that, because they could have activated the lifelink and still have mana up for the Undying Malice. So maybe it is. It could be like an Adamant Will, but anyway, I'll do this now. Whatever. It's really the best thing I can do on this turn. I just have to hope I actually draw something like a Marco Purifier here, because now I have some redraws here. I need a Marco Purifier, and what would be really good also is one of the 2 bats I have in the deck. They just played nothing there for now. They might take a turn to return 2 creatures to their hand now. But yeah, I do have a lot of decent draws. I have my good removal spells still left. All my first pick removal spells, both 2 of them are still here. I have the Marco Purifier. I have another Heron of Hope in the deck. And of course the 2 bats, like I already mentioned. So that's multiple good draws I can have here. One of the redraws at this point. It's funny how much attacks have happened in this game, and both still the life situation is 16-17, of course, when both players are gaining life. So it seems like this might be the turn when they just use the Blood Fountain. Okay, that is good now. I get to do my stuff. So let's just they already have 2 targets, so I don't mind if the Drogskull infantry dies, which means I'm gonna just simply do this. I'm not gonna use the blood token now, because I might wanna play the Courier Bat and the Heron of Hope. So I might need the 7th land this turn. So now I already gained the life, because this thing resolved. Let's see what happens when I attack like this. Maybe they even block the Butler. Well, that didn't happen. Not really a big surprise there. So I can get the Heron of Hope, which I will, of course. And then I still can, draw lands, and I can redraw those lands then. Okay, so now the opponent is... they're most likely going to use the 4 mana to return 2 things. They can get the Kindly Ancestor and the Heron of Hope back, but I also have here some stuff now. So now that at least the Blood Fountain is dealt with. Oh, they chose to only... Wait a second. No, they did get the Heron and the Kindly Ancestor. It's fine. So this can be a long game, because now with the Heron and the Traveling Minister is of course going to be pretty... Wow, that was a good draw. That was amazing actually. But it was about time to draw something good. Anyway, well, I mean, I just kill it, right? Especially when they are tapped out. And now what I can do is I can do this. They still have to double block the Scavenger. So this here, activate the lifelink, and attack for actually quite a bit of damage here now. They do have the lifelinker of their own, so I could not attack with the Scavenger. But I think I'm willing to trade some damage here now. They might have a kill spell on the Scavenger, although they might want to kill the Heron of Hope first. There's a reason to not attack with the Scavenger. I don't care about my, reserving my life total here, but I do care about them gaining life. I mean, I can deal 2, but then they will gain 2. Okay, actually, I'll just attack with these guys. I mean, the attack with the Scavenger doesn't achieve anything because now it can block the Ancestor. And if the opponent has removal, they are going to use it on the Heron of Hope, not on the Scavenger. So it's kinda... I assume I will be able to block the Ancestor here. Now they might have Adamant Will and stuff like that, but Undead Butler can get the Scavenger back if it dies in combat. Can I win a game in this event? This would be my first game win, and if I lose this game, it's gonna be 0-3. Alright, so let's see what they have. Okay, they do a further attack here. Well, I mean, I just have to block here. That was the only reason I left is to block. Okay, so that at least died, and now they're gonna finish off my creature somehow. Oh, they have a Courier Bat that gives them the Heron, but they just sacrificed the Kindly Ancestor for that. And that was gonna happen anyway. It would have been a lot worse if I wasn't able to kill it. Okay, so more removal, please. That's kinda removal. So my attack will involve the Heron of Hope because they can trade with the Heron, but that's fine if they lose the Heron here. And they have the lifelink aura, so they can put the bat, but my bat will block their bat. I have the Beguiler. I can still attack with the Diagram Scavenger. Now I do have both Hero's Downfall and Bleed Dry in the deck, so if they get like a +2/+2 aura or something. Well, I have the Tapper too, which they don't even know about currently. So let's just pump the Heron of Hope so I can attack with it. Seven mana. Yep. Can activate this and play the Beguiler here. But yeah, this can also come down to even decking, I guess, but I need to deal with their life gain stuff. I have a capability to deal some damage, but they can put this lifelink. Yeah, my tapper can tap one of their things. I need more. But I have 2 removal spells left in the deck. And the Mark of Purifier, I hope it's not like in the bottom 5 cards of the deck, because then the extra draws don't matter. They just make me deck out faster. So let's hope to actually use that card once in the game. So the opponent can of course gain a bunch of life here. Okay, they chose to use that, which is actually very good because I have 1 Piercing Light left in the deck too. Okay, they have a Hero's Downfall. Why on that thing? By the way, look at their deck. Double Hero's Downfall. Jeez. And they are 0-2 as well. They should be 0-2 as well. They get a lot of life. They wanted to clear the way, but I think the Heron of Hope was the better target for them. Anyway, now just do this. Fleeting Spirit. Well, it's like okay because it can get a lot of first strikes. I'm gonna play it for sure. And I have the Courier Bat here. I can still draw my other Courier Bat. Anyway, attack with... I can attack even with the Undead Butler. It's not like I'm going to block with it. So this seems rather easy. Just push maximum damage here. Yeah, I have the bat here, so definitely don't mind if the Butler dies. And I can keep tapping now their flyers. Well, one of them. One of them only. But of course they have their Traveling Minister Heron combination, so this is also a 2 life per turn. Yeah, I really hope that the Mark of Purifier happens before my 10th, before I have only 10 left in the deck. Now, if I activate this, I can have a... Okay, if I maybe I should have not used the planes here for the discarding of that thing. Well, too late now. I think I'm gonna do this. This means that I won't have the first strike up here, but I don't think it's necessary now. The first strike won't be necessary, because I have to use my final white mana on the Neville quest Bequiler. Because I'm going to tap down a Courier Bat here. I won't be tapping down the Heron of Hope, because if they want to gain some life, well, they do gain 2 here at least, but well, let's see. Well, definitely now I'm gonna tap it down when it has additional power, so they can make it deal 4. Well, sorry, 3. Okay, anyway, let's do this. I do like the fact I have these two blood tokens, so if I draw lands, I can get rid of them. I have 1, 2, 3, 6, 10 lands here, so I have, I think, still 7 lands in the deck. Yeah, so quite a few of them are lands, but I get to discard a couple of them. So now the opponent is gaining 3 more life because Courier Bat, of course, gains an additional because of the Heron of Hope here. So they will go to 9. I don't care. I mean, I go to what, 30. That's not a problem, but I want to find a way to get rid of them. Hopefully they don't have like a mass removal effect, because that would be the thing that's really awkward here. If they have a by invitation only here. I don't even have a card in my hand to exile this thing. Okay, well, I mean, I do get the Undead Butler trigger here, which is gonna give me something. But the opponent has, of course, been sandbagging things here. So it's kind of tempting to have the Courier Bat, because I can get something else. I have a few ways to gain life still. I could just take the Diecraft Scavenger to exile their, like their... Well, they have a... They should have a... Why doesn't it show here? There it is. Drogskull Infantry, yeah, it does. Oh man. I didn't really need that to happen there. So Courier Bat is good if I draw one of my few ways to still gain life. But I can't even cast this if I don't draw one of them. But I have like a Heron of Hope. I do have the Mark of Purifier. I have them. This actually is just really awkward. I'm gonna take the Courier Bat because I don't think I'm gonna win. I'm assuming the opponent has ways to... Okay, this is really what I needed to happen, and I also need them to not have removal. But the problem is that I think the opponent has sandbagged some things that allow them to, you know, still, I mean, stabilize. That doesn't help against the flyer. And I don't care if that becomes a 3-6, so the Drogskull Infantry won't be good there. Now, let's see if they... Do I have an Undying Malice in my deck? Guess I do. Let's well, I guess I can... Man, if they have a Fierce Retribution there. Man, this by invitation only. Fierce Retribution is going to be annoying. Well... Well, that works too, and it even exiles it. Alright. Okay. Oh my, what an event. I mean, when things go south, they really go south. That's just incredible. I'm not gonna discard this because I still have a lot of lands in the deck I need to, and they have a pointed discussion. And they even have a life gain from the Gluttonous quest, so the fact they have 7 life, it even isn't that bad, because they... Yeah. So let's see now. Mark of Purifier. There's that. I'm not gonna use this just to scry, I can take the 3 damage here. But man, was this... Did they have to have the rare in the deck? That made things awkward. Yeah, more of those, sure. Bleed Drive. I mean, I guess I'll just have to kill the quest. That does mean that maybe I should have... Well, let's see if they're gonna use the Minister on the Gluttonous quest. I guess they are. Actually, that was a mistake. I'm gonna actually want them to attack with the Minister. I should have done this already. but whatever. Because now I can get them to attack with the Minister. And now if I see the final card in their hand, if they want to use the... Okay, so the final card in their hand was also a land. Okay, so they gained a couple of life points there, draw 2 cards. So now if I get them to attack with the Minister... that's great. Good value from the Piercing Light. At least it trades with a card. Okay, Desperate Farmer, that's something that can give me life from... But darn, the Mark of Purifier, that really is somewhere very, very deep in the deck, which is gonna make the card drawing ability a lot less useful. Now do they have a big enough blocker? They could easily have, but I mean I can still attack into it because of the Courier Bat getting me... No, I still have the one Courier Bat left in the deck, don't I? Oh, is it exiled? No, I have one other Courier Bat. Okay, they have a... Jeez. Okay, I mean... Yeah, it's tough. I guess it doesn't matter too much which they exile there. I have multiple good targets there. The Nebelgast Bequaler is gonna be good too. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine, but it's still, man, this is... Do I wanna throw away the Desperate Farmer? I really don't want to. So... Okay. Can I hit my good stuff here? Well, actually, yes, I can. I have to try to do this. It's not so great here, but I mean, if they have now a response to this, what I'm gonna do? Just say that my game wasn't... This event wasn't for me to do well. Because if they now have the interaction for this, not only do I get a 2-for-1, the opponent gets a 2-for-1, but I miss out on the life gain here, but at least that didn't happen, so now I can get something back here. And it's gonna be the Tapper most likely. Scavenger is okay, but Tapper is the one that actually can matter here the most. My life situation is good, and they are down 10 cards and so am I. Purifier, am I gonna get anything with it? Well, there it is. So this doesn't have to be on the battlefield when I gain the life. So I don't mind if the farmer is gonna die now. It does seem like the opponent might be flooding out a bit here, but let's see. If they had a pump spell, they would have used it. It could be a bleed dry. No, a bleed dry would have been used already. No, they actually chose to just trade there and okay, well, so much of the purifier then. What is the opponent's deck? I'm at 0-2 and I'm facing a player that has 2 heroes downfalls, 2 bleed dries, a traveling minister number 2 by invitation only. Well, I mean, I guess I'm still having a chance to win, but I mean, usually at 0-2 you kind of want to face maybe not something as good as this deck. Well, let's see. I mean, I might just win here. Not gonna even... Actually, I'm gonna wait for the Courier Bat because I know I have the 1-4 in my deck still, don't I? That can gain me a life, and then Courier Bat can gain me... Yeah, I have my own where is it? Oh, it's in exile, of course. They have my own Gluttonous Quest, which can help with the Courier Bat, but they have 3 traveling ministers there. Wow. Well, that said, they have to jump block if they don't literally have anything. But so I think I'm winning here still, because they flooded out here. Griff Rider. Okay, that's not enough. Okay, weird game. I mean, why? Well, I mean, I did win here, despite all the opponent had. I mean, their deck just is better than mine. Maybe there was... Is there something like a curve issue? Is there like not enough finishing power. It might be that they don't actually have that much. Most of the creatures, I mean, they might have some trouble finishing against. Well, they had to rat their own board, and I had some removal for their creatures. Anyway, that was an interesting game. Also quite a bit frustrating. But I guess I won a game now in the 7th. Let's see if I can maybe face not something as good as that was. Something not as good as that was. I don't remember. Did I say something different? But yeah, now I will be hopefully having a good starting hand, and I do. Well, this is great. Great hand indeed. There is actually slight synergy between the Fleeting Spirit and the Undead Butler here. Opponent mulligans here, by the way. Because this mills 3 cards. And it helps with this thing to activate the first strike, of course. And when you can threaten the activation, opponent, of course, won't be blocking it. It's gonna be tougher for them to... I mean, this can just get 3 points here and there when the opponent doesn't, of course, want to lose a creature for free. Alright, green-white. Well, it's super annoying to lose this guy if they have a fierce retribution or something, but I guess it's still worth it. I mean, it's not maybe that likely or something. Actually, this was maybe a mistake. I'm not willing to trade the Fleeting Spirit. Maybe Vampire's Lair would have been a better draw because... Okay, well, they have... Well, now that they have the Blood Fountain, things are different. The opponent did mulligan, so of course now they might have had to keep a bad hand. Or maybe they have also by invitation only, but of course I'm curving out while the opponent isn't, so this is really easy for me for now. But I guess they have to have some kind of drop at some point. Sigardian Paladin is okay there. I can attack with the Fleeting Spirit. I don't mind trading with that guy, obviously. Especially when it transforms the farmer here. So they just take 4 here. And then I will be playing my 2 guys here. Mill, Undying Malice, Piercing Light, Heron of Hope. Okay, that's something. The Heron is good. Something to get back and just do this. And next turn, if nothing else, I can just play the Blood Fountain and return the Heron of Hope. And maybe something that dies. Well, I'm not gonna block the 4/4. It can get lifelink if they get a +1/+1 counter on some of the creature, but there is really not a lot of ways to do that. It's actually quite surprising the format doesn't even have a combat trick that involves getting a +1/+1 counter. That is not... I mean, I don't care about the 1/1 flyer too much, at least. It can threaten to block the... Okay, Bramble Armor. Okay, that's a bit questionable card, but I guess that does allow them to now block with that thing. Oh, they choose to raise instead. Now that is super odd. Okay, the opponent is not really doing... I mean, of course I'm gonna block here. Because I'm gonna absorb all the damage. A Desperate Farmer will transform and I will get a Heron of Hope here. I don't understand. Jeez. Now I of course... I just want to play the Heron of Hope. What I could do pre-combat is play the Blood Fountain and then use the Blood Token that I get from it to discard the planes. And then I have 3 cards in my graveyard to activate the first strike. Because now of course it's just gonna trade with the 1/1. But I don't have to attack with it. It's fine. So I'll play the Heron pre-combat to gain some life. Yeah, I think the opponent really wasn't supposed to... They really wasn't supposed to attack with the Paladin. I thought they're gonna have a 6/5 blocker because I wouldn't have an attack in that case. I guess they might have a way to get a +1/+1 counter. I don't know. I don't really know. This is weird. Because of course if this thing gets a lifelink, they will get a lot of life back. Okay, that is something that can get a counter. But do they have the luxury to... Well, definitely they can't attack now. That's like a obvious thing. Attack is no good. And can I get a removal spell? That would be sweet to get rid of the rider, because now they will be able to attack with the rider, and the paladin is going to get lifelink. They will go to, but then again they won't have a lot of attackers. I can also attack with the harvester. Oh yeah, I can pump the harvester, because it will be 5. Yeah, that's great. Just do the pre-combat thing. I wanna gain more, even more life here, and I wanna leave the like this to play the blood fountain. So now I'm gonna give the harvester the pump effect here, and I'm going to, of course, attack with this and this. If they double block the fly rate, that would be great. And they have to jump block with the 1/1 here. I guess they are. I mean, they will be going to what, 2 life here now. Jump the 5/3, and then they will go back to at least 8 life. But I still have a lot of. I mean, they had both of these will be tapped in that case, and of course my life total is just something crazy good here. Don't have to worry about that. Going to 0 here myself. So these will be both tapped. So even if they have 8 life here, I have a lot of attacks here available, including 4 in the air, maybe even 5 when I pump one of the heroes here. And I could block the Griff Rider. I'm not doing that though, because, well, it is somewhat tempting actually. Because if they don't have another training guy, or well, they could have a pump spell too. Yeah, it's really tough to actually block the Griff Rider. The problem, of course, is that if I let it go through, it will be trained further if the opponent can. Okay, that is okay. Well, that gives counters. This uncommon does nurtures with the Sigardian Paladin, so they will be gaining 7 life now. Actually 8, because this nurturing presence will work too. I guess I need to draw one of my removal spells, and I have 2 of them that works against the Paladin, and then yeah, now they don't even need to attack with the Griff Rider. They already, plus the 3/3 flying blocker is. Yeah, this has trample, by the way. They would be, if this didn't have trample, I would have a nice trick here available, related to blocking with this and then exiling. I can also just kill it, by the way. The Quartermaster being a 3/3 makes my Heron of Hopes quite bad. This is actually a reasonable block here. I get to kill this. Yeah. I lose all my guys, but at least I get rid of the lifelinker. They go back to 10 now. But I still have the harvester. Now, if I knew I'm gonna draw this, things might have been a bit different, but it's fine. So, do I offer the double trades or just kill one of them? They have the bramble armor there. So, I mean, they don't even have to block here actually. They can take the damage and then, yeah, I will do this. I will exile this thing and I will just attack with these guys. I have the blood fountain here anyway too. Blood fountain, I have it for to return stuff back. So now the opponent is down to 3 cards, and I still have the 4/3 which I can make into a 5/3. Griff Rider is. And this is an equip cost of 4. This is a really expensive equipment to move around. Radiant Grace, that is, well, it does allow them to trade with this, but then my creatures will enter tapped, which is like not relevant at all. So here it's definitely going to be me attacking with both, because I wanna deal at least 1 damage here when they block the harvester. And well, if they block the minister, that's, let's say, better for me. I will return just both the Heron of Hopes, right? I mean, they have to block, right? How could they go to 1 here? It doesn't seem, yeah, wouldn't have made any sense. So, yeah, let's see what they draw before I decide. I didn't want to use the blood token yet. I might draw my 6 mana removal spell. Now they don't even want to. I mean, given my life total, the opponent might be a bit demoralized here. They would have to both stabilize against my 2 Hero of Hopes and the Minister, and then find a way to deal the 48 before I get to stabilize back. I have yet to draw a card from the Mark of Purifier. I have drawn it once, but it got killed before end step. But I have gotten a very nice amount of these Traveling Ministers. This is of course a very decent hand because the Butler might even mill some creatures for the Blood Fountain to return then. Plus now I have an extra swamp which I can just easily discard to the Blood Token here. Creature, creature, creature. Oh, well, I don't actually mind because with the Butler and the Blood Fountain I can get all of those back. Dawnhard Disciple. Alright. Yep. Just attack because this can be easily a 3-3 plus I can't use the Traveling Minister on my turn. So there could be... Yeah, I'm going to... I mean, I can have a Piercing Light draw here. And the opponent might not get the pump effect here, so who knows. Well, there is a Piercing Light. Now let's see if they do have a pump effect on that thing. Okay, well, this will trade with either a pump spell or with a Disciple. There's no flash human here. Okay, well, I will keep the Hero's Downfall, thank you very much. Well, this is just perfect. Alright, so definitely worth offering the trade here, because I get some of this good stuff back here, which is gonna be, of course, the Courier Bat. So let's play the Hero of Hope, Heron of Hope, or Heron, to get 2 life from this thing, and then either put them to 15 or make them block and draw a card. That's been killed, but it's fine. I could play the quest. It actually can block this thing, but it's just better to pick up the Courier Bat and the Heron of Hope. That's right. Now it's the turn to do that. But I will see what the opponent... I mean, I might still choose to take the Beckwiler or something like that, but first just see what they play here. Celebrants, that is something I want to kill with them. Hero's Downfall, ASAP. Well, it's still more mana efficient to use all my mana this way. Bat and actually the Desperate Farmer could be... Don't know though. I mean, I will get the Heron at some point back. With either the Bat or the... I mean, probably on the next turn with the Bat, to be honest. But do I want to have my Tapper? That could be very good against the... Maybe the Desperate Farmer is the worst pick up there. I will take the Tapper, in fact. That might be very useful against the red-green, which could have big creatures. Alright, well, I do have the Blood Token, but I don't have time to do all this. I'm actually a bit short on mana, but that's fine. So, am I going to just kill this guy? Continue the attacks? Because they might have the 6-6. But I have a jump blocks on the 6-6. This thing has many, so I can jump block with the Butler. The mana efficient play is just to play a 3 mana card now that I chose not to take the Heron of Hope. So I think I'm gonna do this now. Force them to have something more big things and okay, they do have the 6-6 now. That kinda is to be expected, but I can just jump block it. And this time it's time to pick up. I'm just thinking if I can multiple block this, but I don't have enough power here. No. So take the bat now, leave the Undying Malice up though. It would be really useful to have it on a, to use it, combine it with some, I don't know if I want to have the Desperate Farmer actually. It will transform into a 4 power life linker. But then again, the Heron of Hope is so good with the Traveling Minister. I mean, the Butler will get me something back too, so let's just take the Heron now. And see what they do, because I think I'll just jump block the Hunter, and the Undying Malice doesn't work with the trigger from this thing, like I said. I mean, I can get it back to the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter, but then it won't be able to return a creature card to my hand. So let's see if this is gonna be just a jump block here. No massive might, at least yet. Farmer goes to my hand. And I can use the farmer. They get to redraw there. Final blood token. Okay, they had a bit of a flood here. They were at 8 lands there. Alright. Okay, another battle. Now I don't have even anything in my graveyard. So this is 9 damage. But I can go to 16 this turn. But I would want to actually have the Undying Malice up here. So I think I will just play the farmer. The farmer will have a lifelink. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I will still try to raise him. I can take this 9 damage here. I don't plan to use the Undying Malice now. I know I could block the Spore Crawler though, and have this come back as a 3/3, but I think I want to rather just wait for a bit now still. I do have life gain here for multiple sources here. Okay, opponent is really having a bad time with the flooding out here. So I play the hero first. Let's see if it resolves. Yes, it does. I'm gonna pump the life linker. I go to 8. And if this is gonna connect, I go to 12 here. And problem with that is though that I can lose the Witch's Web in that case. I might actually choose to... Well, I'm gonna attack with the Desperate Farmer for sure. Do I need to jump block with the Courier Bat? Because I can pick it back. I can kind of, you know, chain these forever, sort of. But the opponent would also be going to 5. Now the thing is, do I want to risk here? Nah, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna jump block with the Heron of Hope. That's what I'm thinking here. Force them to go to 5. Because when I jump block with the Heron of Hope, I can use the Undying Malice there. And I can also transform the Desperate Farmer. So they will need to have multiple things here. But I'm not gonna just take here 9 damage, because Witch's Web or a Sure Strike will just be an immediate victory for the opponent. That would be horrible. And I don't want to block the Spore Crawler, because even though I can trade with it, I don't want to give them actually a card. So let's do this. And now this will transform the farmer, and this will come back as a 3 power thing, and I'm still at 9. So yeah, opponent really flooded out. I guess it was time for me to have the kind of game where opponent has a very bad time with the draws, while I have actually almost perfect draws there. But still no Mark Purifier that would gain me card draws. But I suppose after losing the first 2 games, getting the 3 wins for the 1000 gems payout is already good, and who knows, maybe I win even more, but I have to be satisfied at the result already at this point in the event. Well, I mean, despite having no Mark of Purifiers, I have had a very good rate with these turn 1 traveling ministers. Also, they haven't been killed that much. I mean, it really makes a big difference when you get to play that thing on turn 1. They have a blood fountain. A lot of blood fountains in this event. From both me and my opponents. So making my 1-for-1 removal of course a lot worse, but what can you do? Another black-green. Not sure I'm a fan of that matchup. I could attack. Sure. Because I can't use the piercing light on their turn. This is now a chance I get to play a spell on this turn cycle, and I'm happy about that. So, do I want to have the 4th land? I do have a pointed discussion at some point, so lands wouldn't be that bad. But I think I don't want to flood out either, so the pointed discussion also helps in not flooding out. Okay, they immediately go for the drawing lands now. Okay, at least they hit their land drop. And I drew another land, so I'm super happy about this Cried Bottom. Right, I should, just in case they have something, I should play the farmer here now. Pre-combat, because now if this thing dies, I get to transform this farmer now. Alright, so this actually is quite good. Oh, the piercing. Oh, look at the value from the piercing lights here. Quite nice actually. And I can even play the pointed discussion post-combat. I get to kill 2 of those guys. This is not how good usually the piercing light is. Damage, stop off the damage to deal 2. It didn't matter this time because they were tapped out, but that's just you know, the good way to do things. I think the 3-1 might be interesting. I will draw it. Because I will draw that and another hard to speak, another card here too. So it's better to have a 2-drop so I can have multiple spells here. So now they can use 4 mana to get all these back, but it's slow, it's super slow. I don't have that fast of a clock now. Okay, that thing I cannot threaten to kill. It is a 4 power, I mean effectively a 4 here, because of course it will deal damage equal to its power, so I just can't attack into it. So I think the best course of action here is just to kill it and play the Fleeting Spirit and go and deal 3 damage with Lifelink. Now I need some flyers, because of course they will get eventually these guys back, and I don't have a good way to push through all those big ground guys, but I have 1 flyer already in my hand. I kind of don't want to miss out on the trigger though, because obviously I have the Lifegain engine here now, so the Courier Bat will be... Okay, Hallowed Phalanx. Oh, they are the toughness deck, so this would be of course be a 13 power dealing thing with that Lumberknot, so maybe I need to draw my own Diagram Scavenger here. Alright, so I think I need to play my flyer now. So what I can do is I can discard the Gluttonous Quest here, then play the Courier Bat to get it back, because I don't have a creature card in here. Okay, I will thin the deck, I suppose. Although it doesn't matter too much, because I think the bottom card here was a Plains, wasn't it? Anyway, now I will... That doesn't matter, I can... Well, actually it does, I get more life if I pump the Lifelinker. Opponent goes to 10, and I will have a 2 power flyer here. Returning the Gluttonous Quest, which can give me another Blood Token to get rid of this extra land. And still, opponent of course has a long time getting there with the toughness stuff, but well, they have the ground basically locked now, so of course my chance is that they don't have a kill on the Courier Bat. Hopefully they don't. They get more life from that. They really are having this, you know, if they have a Catapult fodder in the deck, that will be actually quite decent set of toughness specific cards. Okay, Recluse is good because I have the Blood Token for that. So let's see if I do this and that, and yeah, well, I will be basically tapped out, so I don't have to do that pre-combat. Well, so much of the attacks in the ground. But that's the reason I wanted to play the Courier Bat, because that's the way to connect here. If the opponent can't find an answer for it, or if I just draw more of my flyers, which I still have, another Courier Bat, couple of Heron of Hopes, things will be quite okay. Anyway, do this. So I have, of course, ground in such a way that, well, opponent doesn't even have the power to deal with the stuff I have here, but point is, of course, that I just... I can't attack, and they can't attack in the ground. I can attack only in the air, but the Ragged Recluse, even though it is quite nice, it doesn't actually do much here. Until at some point when I potentially can, of course, just... I mean, they have only 2 blockers, so it's definitely worth realizing that if they don't play more creatures. Well, they did. They can only block a few of these guys. That was quest and... Okay, Stinger. Do they want to actually draw? Well, they probably want to, but they will go to 2. Sorry, they will take 2 to go down to 6 here. They have only 1 blood token for the Gluttonous quest to gain more life, but I think they have to take the golden card now, because that allows them to actually threaten some damage with this, but it actually doesn't matter given my blockers here. And well, let's see now if I can just find more flyers. That would be very useful. Well, how about that? How about that? So they're gonna go down to 3 now, but they can gain 1 more life here still. So them having all these ground blockers, so I can attack with the Farmer of Spirit, Witch, and the Gluttonous quest. Well, they can block everything except one of them, and they just wouldn't block the... So the Spirit I can actually save with the Plains, so they can put like the 1/4 in front of the Spirit. They can use the Hallowed Phalanx to block either the Farmer or the Witch, but I don't lose it in that case. And the Fellstinger... Actually, the Fellstinger only trades with my guys. And if they choose to eat the Gluttonous quest, that's a free kill, but in that case they would have to take at least 2 damage through. So I'm looking at connecting for 1 extra damage, and in doing so I have to discard the Plains to save the Spirit, and this Witch... Well, actually this also does the drain thing. Okay, and of course they can have an attack back with 13 plus 4, which is 17 damage, but I mean, I don't think it's that bad of an idea. I like it. They have only 1 card, so this might be bad, but I don't care. I mean, probably this is a little bit extra use from my guys. And if they now are going to play the Lumbinut on the next turn, that also takes 4 of their 6 mana. They might have, of course, a 7th land drop, but assuming that, well, the 1 forest can't do much here. It can just, you know, use the blood token, or maybe they have a massive might. I don't think that matters. So this trading with the Stinger trading there is fine, and now I can just discard a card to save the Fleeting Spirit, and they do take the 1 extra here, because that might be relevant. I'm not sure if it actually is. They go to 6 now before damage gets dealt. They of course draw the card there, and now they are at 2, and I'm having... And I also got to transform the Desperate Farmer, which is not useless. And them attacking for 17 couldn't really, I mean, matter less. They actually can't even attack here, because they need all the blockers here, and of course the flyers were just lethal. I mean, both of them were lethal, so they were out of life gain effects there. Oh, I got a tier increase here. They were out of life gain effect, so both of these were lethal. And of course the ground force was also... I was able to push through, continue pushing through there. Okay, so I actually got to the tier 2, which seemed very unlikely after going 0-2 in the event at first, but well, That was also a welcome thing to happen. Can I have again a turn 1 traveling minister, because that thing did so much work in that game? Not, but this is definitely a good hand. I'm also a lot on the draw, but I mean I shouldn't really be unhappy about anything because I just have won through 4 games straight, and I don't think this deck is quite that strong. It has its moments, but it has its some weaknesses too. Alright, opponent did Mulligan here, which can be good for me. Being against the green deck once again does mean that it's harder to kind of push through here with my ground guys. I need my flyers again. So maybe I can get there. I will be able to transform this, but it might not be enough because I'm playing against the green-red there. I suppose before showing them anything, I'll just offer the trade here because I don't actually mind if the trade happens. Didn't actually accept it to happen, but I have now 1-4, so they can use, and most likely will use the 2 damage ability there. But when this becomes a 4-3, I can steal a block with the Diagram Scavenger here. Plus now I have the ability to... Okay, they get a land, so that's a totally free flip there. Because if they showed here like a 5-drop or 6-drop there, of course this couldn't even be transformed. But yeah, now I have the option to what exactly? Well, that's really decent if I had something I wanted to actually discard, because there is nothing I want to discard. Because I can use the Blood Token and the Courier Bat if I play my land. But all my cards in my hand are quite good. I don't think I need to use the Courier Bat this turn though. I mean, I just play the Heron of Hope, right? Or maybe I mean, if they block here, let's see if they block here. They might, because they see the Blood Token. I don't mind this, and this 1-4 is good to block that. But now what I can actually do, I don't play the Heron of Hope, I will play my Diagram Scavenger to drain them a bit, and I'll just, you know, block with the 4-3. I don't want to start taking damage from that. And now I can choose to, probably I won't even take the Recluse back, I will just take the Diagram Scavenger back. Yeah, that's what's gonna happen. Well, they had the kill spell there, but let's see what I draw here. If I draw just a land, it's an easy discard. Because in order for me to use the Courier Bats, I need to use the blood here. Alright, so I don't really like this too much. I have the Hero's Downfall, but I don't... Tough. I still want to have access to my pointed discussion, it's too good. I mean, I can take the 4 damage there, I'll just play the Heron of Hope. Right. I'll play the Heron of Hope. I don't like the fact I need to activate it for 2 mana to gain the lifelink there, but if I do draw land... Dormant Grow, well, that is gonna be used on... well, the Berserker here, most likely. Well, no blocks there. Piercing Light. Not such a great spot to be in. This won't transform though, it only transforms when it has 6 or more toughness. But they are more likely to just pump the Dawnheart Disciple there. The fact I did not draw a land is... that's going to hurt, but I think it's time to lose the Piercing Light here on this Blood Token, then use the Courier Bat. And I just try to raise the opponent. They are at 12 only here. And yes, I will be using the Hero's Downfall at some point. That's not a vampire. None of these are vampires. But the bat is gonna be okay here, returning me a Scavenger. Still no land, by the way. But I have the 1/4 that can block these smaller guys. Although if they do get the pump on the Disciple, they can make it to 4/4 now. More removal. Don't be like that. At least don't play a human. They did not. So maybe they just used that thing on the bolt charged Berserker because the 3/3 I can block anyway. But they still are gonna spread the counters. Understandably, but yep, take it here some damage. Okay, the grasp is definitely good, but I still don't have the means to. Well, I'm gonna attack here. I'm gonna use the grasp anyway. I'll play the Slayer here now. Because the grasp can kill the Disciple here. I know I have the Scavenger up too, but I felt like I want to. Yeah, I want to actually exile a creature from the graveyard, so that's really good if they choose that. Hopefully they don't have a pump spell here. They did not, so that was wasted to counter there. Very fantastic. I can take the 5 here easily, and then I can just continue attacking with my guys, and I get the Death Toucher. Well, I can't attack into that, but okay, still, still like that. Okay, it's fine though. I mean, I'm actually in a good shape here. I'm not having a bad time at all. So the Scavenger. Yeah, at some point I will get. Well, doesn't matter now. Let's just get rid of the Disciple here, and I will now get to block with the Death Toucher, and I have the flying thing here that is going to eventually finish them unless they find more removal, and if they do find, I have another flyer. I have a Hero's Downfall. Okay, so now I get to double spell because I finally drew the land and I want to double spell here for sure. So the question is, do I want to use the... It's gonna be of course the Fleeting Spirit and then something else. It could be the Hero's Downfall on that thing. Yeah, this is not gonna get the boost because of my Scavengers eating some of the stuff in the graveyard. Actually, I'm not a very smart guy. Darn. I'm actually an incredibly stupid guy because I should have killed this pre-combat attack with the Vampire Slayer too. Jeez. Well, now that that didn't happen, I think I'm gonna choose a different. Yeah, that was the smart play. So I made a mistake. Kill this, attack with both of these, make them go to 2 here. Now, that didn't happen, so I'm gonna do this and play the other bat here, and I'm going to jump block. Well, I don't even have to jump block, it becomes a knight. Won't be needing the pointed discussion here. But I mean, this is most likely gonna be a win for me, right? They need to deal with both flyers. They have 1 card left. They can't attack because my ground guys will be lethal. It will be knight. But none of that seems to matter now because my Hero's Downfall will eat this guy, and the Fleeting Spirit will be lethal. Well, not lethal, but will be, I mean... So I'm assuming they have a kill spell on one of the flyers, and then when I attack with all the ground guys, that should be it. Because of course that is way beyond lethal. Alright, so did I in fact win so far 5 games in a row after 0-2 start? Well, I guess I did. Mythic ranked number 13. Well, at least I get here a good enough start here. Might be playing the bat as just a 3-mana 2/2 flyer. That's often what you do. Well, there's a better one. I'm still on the draw. That's a lot of games on the draw, but I guess it's fine. Alright, so there's a first black-red deck. And the Recluse is just gonna trade here. There's no point waiting to transform this. Maybe I can get it back with the bat or something like that. Okay, they have a 3-drop start, of course. But do they have a blocker on the Desperate? Oh, come on. Okay, this card is usually not good, but this time it was. Alright, so I need to... Oh, I wish I had the untapped land this time, because I kind of need the... I need the Undying Malice. Man, Skulking Killer is not often a card that's so good, and this is all about them being on the play. Imagine if they were on the draw, then I wouldn't have had just one creature there. At least I don't think so. Alright, so how to do this? If I play the Butler, it won't even be able to trade here. So the Bat can just trade here, and then maybe the Butler gets it back. Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna do that. I'm gonna do that exact thing. It's kinda sad, but... Man, the 2-for-1 here, that's just brutal, man. It really is. And now they get to refill here. Jeez. They don't even want to trade here. That's interesting. Okay then. Well, guess I'll attack for 2 in that case. And now I have a couple of options, but I think the easy option is just to play that 2-5 here. It can block the Skulking Killer, and not only like a Bleed Dry works here as a removal spell. Okay, I get to... Okay, the Skulking Killer gladly hasn't been able to do anything else than just kill my guy, which was still sad, of course. But now I can keep tapping the Celebrants, play the Heron of Hope, and have the Undying Malice up. That's fine. I will take damage from the Skulking Killer though. Unless I'm willing to trade with the Heron of Hope here. Which I might be doing, because I do have the Butler in my hand. Of course I can just use the Malice, but I wouldn't wanna... Okay, now they will attack with exactly 2. Let's see if there's any... Is there any good way to do this if I tap the Skulking Killer? No, I'm not gonna let them attack with 2 Menace guys. So if I tap down the... No, it's basically gonna be the Falcon Rat Celebrants. Alright, so they get to transform the Suitor here, and I think I might be in a spot where I have to just use the Heron. I mean, I have to just hope they don't have anything, because if they do... Okay, I'm really happy if they try to do something mid-combat here. Upgrade in there. This Ender is tapped, but it's actually quite fine if I get to do like this. I'll take here 6 damage though, but actually 7 if they use the Deadly Dancer pump effect. If they don't have any other use for the mana. They didn't want to even lose those blood tokens, but I will have my life gaining now. Even better with this thing. So can I try to raise them in the air? This Deadly Dancer is horrible. I mean, horribly efficient card, of course. Let's first do... Wait a minute, I don't need the black mana for anything else. Let's do that. Land, quest. Desperate Farmer is in there, so this Butler is gonna do blocks here, of course. I can do this, and I can activate the Heron, and I can still use the final white mana for tapping down stuff. Question is, can I attack with the Courier Bat? My clock is very slow if I don't attack with the Courier Bat. So I will tap down the Celebrants. The Deadly Dancer is... it has Trumble. This thing has Menace. The Courier Bat can block the Skulking Killer. But then I can get the Courier Bat back. Yeah, I think this is what I should do. This is fine, because I can get the Bat back. And hoping that one of my life gaining stuff survives, I can use the Courier Bat again. Alright. This is how I should do it. Go back to 11 life now. See what the opponent has. Do they have a 4th mountain? Because if they do, they have a double activation for the Deadly Dancer. That's the first thing I need to pay attention to. Now I don't have to use the Bequadero because it can just block the Skulking Killer, but it's not so good when they have the Deadly Dancer. They can make this into a 5-2. So let's just do this. And now it's actually quite tempting to double block the Dancer here too. But they might choose to not kill the Butler in that case. That's something. I guess I'm gonna do this and do this. Yeah. Trade with the Killer, and the Butler absorbs 2 of these trample damage, and then I get to trigger the Butler, which is gonna give me the Bat back. Yep. I might be a bit tight on mana, because I want to activate the lifelink on the Heron here, but well, let's see if they have a kill spell on it, then I don't have to worry about that. I still have the Traveling Minister, but if they have kills both on the Traveling Minister and the Heron of Hope, of course the Bat won't be getting anything back, and then it's just a case of opponent having a lot better draw than I, and it's just game over and that's it. But if they can't kill them both, it's still hard because they are dealing so much damage to me with their guys, and it's not like they are running out of cards. Although if they're using blood tokens here, that's really good for me. Oh, but that's Edgar's Awakening, so they get back the Mind Leech. Oh, damn it! They get to make me exile the Courier Bat. Well, such is life. They have to sacrifice something though. Well, probably the gold itself. That was annoying. Didn't expect him to actually get to have a cheap effect there. Alright, so this is just going to be happening here. So, and of course I will be also pumping the Heron of Hope here. So that makes me go to 10, then I go to 15. It's really tempting to attack for 6 here. It really is, because then I can phase here. Oh, but I don't have a Dawn. I don't have a spell here. Man, the fact they had the Awakening thing going on there with the Might Leech Gold, that was really bad. Fearful Villager will be a 4-power creature. So I'm phasing 8. That's 11 plus. It's 13 and it's 15 if they have a mountain. So I can't risk that, because I would have exactly 15. So I will have to only... Man, the fact that they had the exile effect and that I did draw the land instead of a spell to make the knight status happen. That sucked. That was bad. That was incredibly bad. They don't even want to use... I mean, the cards in their hand are ones they are not willing to discard the blood tokens. That means their hand has to be very good. They will have an answer for that thing. Alright, so that will allow a vampire to gain life. So these are both vampires, this is not. So of course I'm gonna tap the Celebrants here. But they're gonna go to at least 10, maybe 11 this turn. Yeah, I mean, I didn't really expect them to get the life gain either. I was hoping to raise them, but it's gonna be so hard now. I don't know if this is even winnable anymore. I guess if I draw a removal and they don't have a removal on my things, but if the Heron of Hope dies, it's game over, most likely. Does that matter? Don't think... Oh, okay. So, I don't know why the opponent just has like perfect cheese here. their black-red deck has suddenly life gain. Well, the other Heron is definitely going to help me. Okay, it is going to help me. But they have this... Okay, I don't care about the Mind Leech goal, of course, because I will have an empty hand. But the other Heron is really good for many different reasons here. First, I'm going to just... First, I have to think if I want to attack with the Bequaler as well. Because that is something I can do. In which case I should pump the Bequaler. Or maybe not, because... No, this lifelink... Oh, no. I want to give additional life gaining to myself. But they might jump block the Courier Bat. So that is interesting. So if they don't have another wedding invitation... Anyway, I'm gonna activate the lifelink there right away. I have the planes for the tapping. The opponent doesn't know about it. I have to now really think careful. So if I pump the Bequaler, I'm forcing them to go to 7 even if they jump block. If I pump this thing, I get 1 additional life, but then they might jump block and... But I think I will use the tapper anyway, so... Yep. This gives me now 3 life. That's actually pretty great. That gives me, of course, 6 life. And I have the tapper here now. And they did double spell on the previous turn, making this back into day. Alright, yeah. The Heron of Hope here, really good. But like I said, if they don't have removal, then I will still have a good chance here. Because now they are facing 6 in the air, actually. The ground guys don't work. They have to jump block with the bat, and I can just tap down the bat. Mind Leech goal, totally fine. Blood Fountain too slow, doesn't do anything. Should I let them attack even? Just tap down the Courier Bat, end of turn. I don't like to take all this damage though. So I guess, because I can still tap down the Courier Bat on my turn if I really want to. I'm facing a lot of damage if I don't tap. I mean, I can prevent 4 by doing this, so I think I'm gonna do this. I of course could have left this untapped, and then the Deadly Dancer, I could have blocked it. They have only 1 activation, it would be a 4-3. Oh, they choose to attack with the bat. Well, that has to be a Surge Strike. I'm not gonna block it. I'm gonna try to have the lethal here. Haha, yeah, that has to be a Surge Strike. Although I wonder, yeah, they just didn't want to risk it. They maybe thought that I will be tapping, if they leave the Courier Bat to block, that I will be tapping it and attacking for lethal. And they hope that I will actually take the block here and they can use a Surge Strike. Wow. The second Heron of Hope, that was really important. And again, the Traveling Minister. There's no Mark of Purifier anywhere to be seen, but Traveling Minister is all you need. Such an amazing card here, especially in combination with this stuff. Okay, it's the final match then. Starting 0-2. Now I'm at 6 wins. And I'm on the draw again, and this time hand would still be very nice if it had the black, but now I guess I have to hit some bad hands now. This is just too risky. I do have a 1 Evolving Wilds and 9 Swamps in the deck, but this... I don't even have the blood token for this, nor the life gain for this, so it's not actually that great. I mean, it would be totally a fine keep if one of these was a swamp, but I will mulligan this hand. Okay, I like this more. And the card I don't like here is... It might even be the Gluttonous Quest, because I think my turn 3 play will be either Pointed Discussion or the Hero's Downfall, and this can be better late in the game. If I need a blood token, I get one from this anyway. Okay, it's gonna be the one for against an unknown opponent. in some matchups the 1/4 is not exactly what you need. Okay, that is actually fine to play on turn 2. Black and well, black so far. Okay, well, you know what? That's a Vampire Slayer. It will slay the Restless Bloodseeker. Hey, if I'm super lucky, they will attack into it. or block, rather. Okay, blue-black. Skullscap. Okay, well, I'm definitely trading with that thing too. If they choose to do it. Alright, the Grasp could kill something, but I'm gonna play the Pointed Discussion. Although in that case, maybe I shouldn't. Wait a second. Now this can be valuable though if they have a... Okay, it actually might be the turn when I'm actually going to... I'm gonna offer the trade first. And if they just do it, hopefully they have an Undying Malice, by the way. But they didn't. That's fine. Trading with that Skullscap is really good. I can kill this at some point anyway, no rush to do that now. So now that they did block, they have only one power creature. I should play the Pointed Discussion, recoup from my mulligan, and keep making land drops and just having more options for playing stuff. Okay, they had nothing, but that could mean some kind of a counter spell, of course. Let's play around Syncopate. So this will still be gotten by a Siphon Essence, but they don't seem to have it. And then end of combat, end of their turn, I might just use the Blood Token. So are they... Okay, they have another one of those. Sure. Well, this is actually not bad at all. I will have 3 cards in my graveyard. If they go for a double block, it's really risky for them because I can activate the first strike. Now normally it would be enough if they double block it, but I have the Parasitic Grasp here. Although I do need a land drop for that. Anyway, one thing at a time. I'm gonna do that anyway. Okay, there is the Marker Purifier. There is the land drop too. So what I can do now... Oh, actually I was wrong. I don't need a land drop here. I can just attack, exile all this stuff to make a first strike guy, and then I can kill the other with the Parasitic Grasp. They have only one blue open. It's worth it. It is totally worth it. Or they just take 3 damage. That's too also possible. They go for it. So first, before I activate anything, I will use the Parasitic Grasp. And then I will activate the first strike. And I should leave the creature in my graveyard just in case. They might have a Diagram Scavenger, but I might get my, return things too. So that was a clean 2 for 1 if all that works, and it did. Okay, I'm in a very good shape now. The opponent of course has a lot of spells in their hand, but well, I have a Piercing Light for that thing. If they block, they block. I will use the Piercing Light, because then I can follow it up with the Nebelgast Bequiler. They chose not to. And I will want to leave the Piercing Light up, so let's do that. I get priority stops because of the Fleeting Spirit, so I don't even have to kind of bluff anything. Now they might have, of course, some kinda removal. Now that I did play the planes, that does mean that I'm not interested in discarding any of this. Maybe if they try to kill this, maybe Piercing Light could have gone, but it is quite good against the farmer. But now I am in a pretty good shape here. Yeah, let's just continue attacks here. They might choose to block with a Cruel Witness, which is fine, I guess. Then I do have to... Well, it is. I mean, this is a good trade if they block with the Cruel Witness. It's totally fine trade there. Okay, so now I'm gonna save my Fleeting Spirit and use the Piercing Light here. That's a better idea. Oh, that's definitely... With the Marker Purifier, insane. So now I'll just play my Purifier and have my Tapper up. This time I'll keep the swamp in my hand in case the fleeting spirit would be dying. I can prevent that from happening. Now I'm actually taking the 3 here because I much rather tap down the blocker so I can connect with my ground guys. Feel free to attack with that, and they didn't want to, of course. Why don't they play any spells? They must have something instant speed there. Well, I mean, then they have. Doesn't really affect my turn here in any way. I'll just attack with the 2 non-tapping creatures, of course. They need to deal with the purifier. That is only a bounce. Totally fine. Bleed Dry would have been much nastier. So they choose to actually, look at this, they wanted to mill the Scattered Thoughts because they want to draw something with more immediate impact. Quite nice for me. So now they actually need to deal with the Purifier because, okay, come on Tapper, be smart. Well, I guess they wanted to keep mana up for the Hero's Downfall. I mean the Auto Tapper. So Purifier, and then that Minister, and then I will be... And I don't play the Swamp here for the reason that I might want to save the Spirit, and it's very unlikely that Hero's Downfall would be needed to play right now. I guess if they have the making me exile 2 card from my hand, yeah, the zombie thing. The exile target the zombie or target player exiles 2 card from their hand. Yeah, it's possible. Okay, they can get something back here, but that's again slow, and I start to pressure them, and I also have the Hero's Downfall, the Tapper, and my card draw engine. They milled that too. What? They are really digging into removal. That's the only explanation I have here. Okay, now that is something I could have used for the... Although if they sacrifice either of these, I don't mind, but I could have had the Hero's Downfall there. Anyway, let them sacrifice if they really want to. They probably even don't want to. I have more than one, thing that they need to deal with, so bouncing one of these is not gonna even be any kind of a solution here. Okay. Oh, did I make a mistake? I might have, because I probably will use the Downfall on the other one, but oh well. Because I of course want to attack with the Purifier too without losing it. I guess I can't keep tapping the 2 mana to draw a card. I'm gonna play the land now. Yeah, I think I wanted to get rid of the Scarp rather than the flyer, but I guess I can draw my own flyer still. But point is, if they kill the Bequiler, then I won't be having any attacks at that point. The 3/3 is worse as a blocker, but I guess this is still fine. How do I do it? I'm wasting time here. Just do it like this. So now I will pump the Purifier and attack for not 8 but only 6 here. And then I will play the Blood Fountain, and then I will draw a card, and so that I will have still tapping mana up here. Okay, that's a good one if I just get to untap with it, although it doesn't work against the Bleed Dry. Yeah, opponent can attack if they want to. Doesn't seem like they have anything. They have the Blood Fountain activation, of course. So, okay, I got to untap. Alright, so that's good too. I'm definitely going to play it now, just in case something dies. This might transform. Use the Minister on. I mean, I can offer a lethal attack here. That's the thing here. Offering a lethal attack is really tempting. I will lose the ability to tap down anything, but I think it's worth it. Let's do it like this. Jeez. I thought I was winning the game. I have the Undying Malice, but it doesn't do a whole lot here. I mean, I'm not totally lost here. But it's not easy now. Because as you can realize, if I could have tapped down the Hullbreaker Horror if I didn't attack with the Tapper, but I get to transfer, but they get to bounce something here. But I get to draw a card. Okay, it's not over. It's definitely not over, but I mean, that was one of the things that makes it so that it's more likely for it to be over. But of course, this is not a constructed. They don't necessarily have a lot of instant speed effects. Now that I have my Grizzly Ritual here, I can maybe get rid of that guy. So they can use them. Well, they might have spells in their hand. They can use the Blood Fountain to return a 3 mana card or a 2 mana card, stuff like that. But if they don't have a instant speed effect to counter the Grizzly Ritual, well, it doesn't counter it, but bounce either the target or the spell itself. And of course, what they are facing, they are at 2 life. They have 2 blockers against 5 attackers, although the Traveling Minister isn't a lethal attacker. I have the Tapper here, so they choose to lose a Swamp. They have only 6 mana left, 2 cards in hand. Blood Fountain activation gives them 1 bounce effect for the Horror. Bleed Dry is good, but it is only one of the things that can... Yeah, so they can bounce that and kill that, but now they would have to have a 2 mana instant speed effect. Do they have that? That's really tough because I don't want to... that's really tough. Because of course a Grizzly Ritual will be just amazing if they don't have it. And horrible if they do. What I can do, I can just play the Tapper here and force them to maybe use the Blood Fountain and play some crit. They get to bounce so much though. It's gonna get harder and harder. I'm gonna try to go for it, but this is gonna be miserable if they have something. Okay, well now I just have a win here. Because the other side of the coin is that I have a lethal attack. So, I mean, there are bounce spells, Alchemist's Retrieval, Undying Malice works, even a counterspell works there of course, and Cradle of Safety. There are options they could have had, but the upside is that if they don't have it, that means they also don't have the... I mean, I have the 3 power guy and the 4 power guy, and they have only 1 blocker and 2 life, so... I guess that was a fitting end to the event. A crazy bum rare here, which I still was able to beat, and yes, this indeed... I mean, I felt pretty desperate after losing the 2 games, and my deck really had some issues maybe in the first 2 games, but then I just started to maybe draw the stuff, and my deck did what it's supposed to do, and yep, it went to 7 wins, so this was a 7-0 run after losing the two first ones. So what I really still think that not being too results oriented. I mean, I just had, if I had one more mana issue game in the early games, I could have ended up at 0-3, 1-3 or 2-3 even. So what I don't like about the deck, 2 Piercing Lights, not great. I just wanted to have more 2-drops here, and then a little bit... Well, maybe even the Ragged Recluse wasn't the greatest 2-drop here. I would have wanted it to be something more, or just have maybe more blood tokens, but in a black and white deck you don't have that much blood tokens. I would have wanted to play maybe the 3rd Courier Bat, but I just felt like I had so many 3-drops and I didn't want my curve to look too awkward there. But it's possible that the Courier Bat might have been better than the Recluse, for instance. But yeah, the Heron of Hopes, the Courier Bats, and the Traveling Minister. The one of Traveling Minister was really a big part here. So they really, I mean, the synergy you can have with these things, it's pretty nice. I did have also good amount of removal. Bleed Dry, Grizzly Ritual, Hero's Downfall, and the Parasitic Grasp, and then the couple of Piercing Lights for small creatures. It was a fine deck, but 7 wins was maybe a bit lucky run in the end, especially given how the event started. But yep, now this was a very long video because the games really took a long time, so it's time to wrap things up, and the next one will be a traditional draft. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.